What is going on, college football fans? I'm super pumped. Practice has started. I even see some guys out here in California where I'm at. These high school kids, they're already suiting them up. Football is in the air. I can't be watching your comments right now. I'm testing out a new call-in system. I hope this works. I really do. I don't know if it will or not. We're going to test it out and see. But we've got a guest on the show, and before I get into the guest, I want to let y'all know this episode is sponsored by the great folks at Tennessee River Monsters, and they're a fishing guide service on Watts Bar and Tennessee River, and that's who we're going to be going fishing with September 21st, the Friday before the Florida game. And if y'all haven't got your tickets, y'all need to get them. They're $5 a piece, and we will have a former University of Tennessee and NFL and Super Bowl star on the boat with us. I can't say who it is right now. I want it to be a surprise, and I'm going to try to have him on as a guest. But it was in a Super Bowl long before most of y'all were born. I was probably 5, 6, 7 years old when this was out. But anyway, he's a good guy and still working out the details. But I hope y'all can help us raise money for Fishing for Soldiers. It's a great cause for veterans, and the tickets are $5 a piece with a 2-ticket minimum. Just email me at volunteerroadshow@gmail with the number of tickets, and I'll send you an invoice through PayPal, and you can pay for it however you want to with credit cards. But without any further ado, we've got the Mac Daddy. I'm talking about the king of the TTC. They say the TTC is dead, but every time this guy uploads a video, the TTC gets a heartbeat. And can you hear me, Mr. Lawtide?
Oh, yes. I hear you from all the way from down here, baby. What's going on out there in California?
Just driving my life away. I want to get some ones because we are testing this, Lawtide. I want to make sure that this gets up and running before the season starts. Can I get some ones if everybody can hear me and Lawtide good and loud and clear?
Can you hear us one time?
Yeah.
One time down there.
Hey, while we're waiting on to get some ones, man, I tell you what, I've been reading some Florida fans and especially Georgia fans and Auburn fans have been chirping about Alabama. They say Alabama is slipping, they're going down, you know, there are a lot of unknowns, they're not the same Alabama, and they're not to be feared anymore. What do you got to say about all these people chirping about that, Lawtide?
Well, I think they need to wake up and smack themselves silly one damn time, because they got another thing coming that they think we're going to fall off the mountaintop. We took the best shot from some of the best teams there is, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't put the knife in us. What, they think they're going to do it now? Huh? How you Georgia fans feel, second 26? Aloha.
Well, you know how them Georgia fans, they're feeling pretty confident. They got a lot to feel confident about. I tell you what, #1 recruiting class, I mean, they're just loaded everywhere. You think, you know, they're like Alabama. They're just reloading. I think it's going to be...
Yeah, but they don't do it as good as the master. They don't do it as good as Nick Saban. And he will always be that X factor. Always.
Well, I can't argue with you there, Lawtide. I tell you what, that I didn't get to watch the ball game, and you know, anybody that's seen my reaction videos know that I don't get to watch much sports on TV, but I have seen the replays of the second 26, and Tua looked calm as a cucumber back there. I don't know how he played in the second half. I still haven't got to watch it. I may go back and do a reaction on that. But speaking of the quarterback situation, I want an Alabama fan. I'm tired of hearing Uncle Lou and all these other talking heads that aren't Alabama. I want to know what Alabama fans are thinking about the quarterback situation with Hurts. He's starting to chirp a little bit, letting his feelings be known, and Tua and all that's going on that second half. Tell me what Lawtide says about the quarterback situation.
Well, I'll tell you like this, Catfish. Alabama, we ain't all about them feelings. We don't get all in our feelings. So to hear what Jalen had to say was really shocking to me. I mean, I can understand him, but you don't get out there and chirp like that, especially try to talk down to the master who got you there and made you the starter. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think Jalen kind of sees the writing on the wall that Tua's just a better quarterback. But, you know, like I said on the Rover Sports the other night, I said, you know, don't count Jalen out. He's a leader. He's 26-2, and don't count him out. But I was real shocked by what he said. But I'm real happy with, you know, having two quarterbacks. You know, it's better than not having none, you know. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, everybody says it's just one half, and I do think that from what I've seen of Tua, which I haven't seen a lot, I do think that he looks like more of a polished passer than Jalen does. But you said it, 26-2, that's hard to beat.
Yeah, it is. It's real hard to beat because, I mean, when you're the head man at the University of Alabama, you got all the eyes on you. I mean, you think about all that pressure. You got Coach Saban on you. He don't want you to turn the ball over, and that's what's going to, you know, really set who's going to be, you know, our quarterback besides, you know, what the team's going. You know, the team's going to buy in which one they want. But as far as that goes, you know, either one of these quarterbacks go out there and throw, you know, interceptions in their first game, they're going to be cool. Because that's something Nick Saban will not put up with, turnovers.
Well, you know, Nick Saban's going to go with what Nick Saban wants to do and whoever he thinks gives him the best chance to win, period. He doesn't care about what the booster says. He don't care about what the fans are chirping in the media. He doesn't care what the players are chirping to the reporters. He's going to go with what he thinks will win the ball game, and that's how he was able to make that change in the second half. Only Nick Saban had the political capital to make that move.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. That's why he shows he's got the biggest ones of them all. I mean, he pulled off that onside kick against Clemson, and that helped us beat Clemson and win number 16. And then he pulled Hurts and put Tua in there, and we done win number 17. So I mean, he's a genius. Everybody wants to talk about, well, if he's such a genius, why didn't he have him in there before? Well, that's because Nick Saban's always got that ace in the back pocket. I mean, 2016 or 2015, it was O.J. Howard. 2017, it was Tua. So I mean, we got players all over, and they're just itching to get out there on that field. And it starts with practice and starts with the competition, and that's something Nick Saban loves. He loves competition.
Well, I tell you what, I think it's the practice. When you've got a team full of 5-stars out there on first and second and third string, it's got to be as close to an NFL practice as there come in all of college football. But I think that's the competition, even amongst the second string, is how Tua was able to come in so poised. And you got to tip your hat. I've always thought that General Neyland and Bear Bryant were the greatest coaches, but I know it's a different era. But I tell you what, Saban is a genius. He's a mad scientist, and he doesn't get ruffled too much. That's one of the things that I see with Saban is why he's had the longevity. If he wasn't a genius, it'd have been just maybe one championship and done, but he's been able to keep it up for a decade. And I've said on my show last year that, hey, we'll probably never ever see what Alabama's done over the last 10 years duplicated again in sports.
We never will. We never will. I'm right there with you, Catfish. I mean, as an Alabama fan, we're living the good times right now. I mean, but we know we can fall off that mountain next year. I mean, look what's going on up at Ohio State right now. I mean, they don't know if they're going to keep Urban or not. I think they're going to keep him. But there's still, you know, still a lot of turmoil up there. You know, got this situation down in Alabama. Who's going to be our defensive backs this year? You know, we lost 6 defensive backs, but they don't understand we're defensive back you. And I mean, all them players, all them DBs want to come play for Coach Saban, and they're going to see that this year. Patrick Surtain Jr. and Sadavian Smith is going to be big time for Alabama this year. Y'all look out for them.
Well, let me ask you something. There's not that many people watching this Lawtide, so you can open up to me. I can kind of be your therapist here. But you sat on top of the college football world for so long. There has to be something. This is a time of year where you start thinking just amongst yourself, and you're thinking, internalizing, what is it that concerns Lawtide about this? There's got to be at least one thing that maybe has you a little bit concerned. And there's not many people watching us, so open up to us. Take a seat on the couch, sit back, and open up to me. What's concerning Lawtide as an Alabama fan?
Am I getting nasty?
What's that?
You want me to tell you?
Yes, tell me.
It's because we can't ever get a damn kicker that's worth a shit. We can't ever get a kicker. Why has everybody got kickers and Alabama don't? They've been killing us forever. I mean, ever since Cody Foster, and it goes way back. It goes way back. Those kicks that Tiffany missed down there in Arkansas, Sheila's last year. I mean, I had a buddy, he's about ready to jump off the edge. So it's always been the kicker with me. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, we had a chance to win the national championship before overtime. We about screwed ourselves out of it. But, man, it's always the kicker with me. I think we're going to be all right up with the punter. But the special teams with me is always a big if with Alabama fans,
Well, if all you got to worry about is a kicker, then you don't have much to worry about, because when you're scoring touchdowns, I guess the kicker doesn't come into play. I wish we've got a lot bigger fish to fry than worried about a kicker, but there's got to be more than that. I mean, come on, Lawtide, open up to me. Is there a team? Who are you most concerned about playing in the regular season besides Auburn? Besides Auburn, that's always a rivalry game. I want to know who you're most concerned about.
Maybe A&M, because you don't know what Jimbo's going to bring. Jimbo's a good coach, and I'm anxious to see how they're going to be. LSU, they want some. We've been whooping their butts for 7 straight times we played them. We own the whole state of Louisiana if they don't know that. But man, I think that'll be a tough game, and of course the Auburn game. And who knows? Pruitt might roll out his helmet and beat the hell out of the damn Mountaineers, and y'all be off and running. So it might be y'all too. So it don't matter. I mean, we gonna take it 1 week at a time. We ain't gonna look past nobody. But if you're on the schedule, you better get off the track because the train's coming through.
The A train is coming down the track. I tell you what, I've been reading a lot about Mississippi State. I know they've got a first-year coach, but they've been recruiting the heck out of everybody this past few weeks. They've been signing some guys. They're moving up the ladder. I don't know a dang thing about their coach. I couldn't even tell you his name, but they've got a heck of
Coach Moorhead. I can tell you a little bit. Coach Moorhead. He's from up there, up north, up there in Penn State. They say where he's been. He's been a winner, but he's going down there. I mean, even Dan Mullins couldn't make that team a winner. That's probably their best chance they ever had was beating us last year. And I don't think we was ready for them, but they do come to Tuscaloosa this year, and bring it on out. You know what? I mean, they're gonna be tough, just like everybody else on their schedule. Ole Miss will be tough. I mean, they got a young receiving core. Well, they don't have a young receiving core. We got a young defensive core, defensive backs, and they got a really good receiving core. So we're gonna have to bow up and play good defense against them. But other than that, hey, Louisville could be tough. Who knows? I mean, they got a quarterback named Jawan Puma Pass. I mean, he's got a nickname, so he got to be pretty good.
Before we get into taking some callers, we're going to take a few callers. I don't have a lot of time because this truck's building up heat. I've got the truck off, and I'm out here in Death Valley, California, but we're going to take a few calls. And let me tell you something, you're not going to be able to rattle Lawtide. He's law freaking tied. He can bring it, and he can take it. So we're going to open up the phones in here for a second, but I'm going to announce a winner. My 1,000th follower on my Facebook page, Volunteer Roadshow Facebook page, is Dana Jennings Davis. If you're watching this, email me at volunteerroadshow@gmail.com, and I'll send you out a Tennessee Tiki Totem. I say Tennessee because I know she's a Tennessee fan. I saw it by her profile picture, but email me at volunteerroadshow@gmail.com, and let me get the phone number up here. Are you ready, Lawtide? There's some people talking some noise on the
Let 'em
comment
talk.
section. So I just posted the phone number up there, and anybody wants to call in, we'll see if we can't merge these two calls together. It's 855-489-7623. And while we're waiting on the call, let me ask you something. Somebody asked in the comment section, if Jalen doesn't win the starting job, do you think he'll transfer? What do you think he'll do?
I think he'll redshirt and transfer after the year because he only needs like 14 credits to graduate. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if he don't win the job, that wouldn't surprise me if he redshirted.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've been hearing some noise if Lane Kiffin gets a big job next year, that Jalen might go with him. So,
Really?
we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I mean, there's been
Where'd you
some
hear
talk
that?
about that. Heard it on the Fine Bone,
Really?
but we'll see. Yeah.
Let me ask you something. We've got somebody calling in. I'll get it here in just a second. Actually, they hung up, but who do you have in the just predictions or predictions? And everybody's got a prediction. They're like, you know, buttholes. Who do you have in the playoffs? Who's your 4 teams?
Well, I'm gonna say Clemson will be in there for sure. I want to say maybe Penn State, but I don't know. Either Penn State or I don't know. Let me think. It'd be us for sure. Well, you know, us, Clemson.
Do you think it'd be a repeat?
Shoot, I'm gonna say it for giggles. I'm just gonna say it for giggles. Ohio State, put them in there because they've been running out Alabama for years. I want them in there, and I'm gonna say we're gonna get another SEC team in there, and I'm gonna say it's Georgia.
All right. Well, we got a
Again.
caller. Well, let's take this caller. Caller, you're on with Lawtide and Catfish. What you got for Lawtide?
All right. Hey, Catfish. This is SEC Football 2 here.
How you doing, buddy?
Mind if I talk to that Alabama guy, please?
Yes, talk to
I
him.
can't hear you, dude.
He says he can't hear you.
Okay. This is SEC Football 2, but I want to talk to Lawtide, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. You got
Yeah,
him.
go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Hey, Lawtide, what's going on, man?
What's up with you?
Not much. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. Hanging out like a hair on a biscuit.
Huh?
Well, bring it to him. Give him something. Give him something.
Who's your team, brother?
What do you think about Alabama's quarterback situation? I mean, you got a quarterback that's getting ready to transfer. Is Jalen Hurts transferring or not? I mean, please explain that to me, sir.
Well, if he don't get the starting job, I think he will, but I think it'll be next year. It won't be this year. I think he's going to stay at Alabama and get his degree and then transfer on out if he don't get the job.
Well,
Wait a second. There are a lot of rumors saying that he's going to go to Tennessee. I mean, what's with your quarterback situation, man?
he's not going to
We're
Tennessee.
fine with our quarterback situation. We got 2 good quarterbacks. We got 2 really good, capable quarterbacks.
Don't have is Jalen Hurts. I don't know if he's going to be transferring, but what are you thinking is going to happen with Jalen Hurts? That's all I want to know.
I just told you, if he doesn't make the starting position at Alabama, if he's not the starting quarterback, he will redshirt. He will graduate at Alabama in December. Then he will take his ass somewhere else. He won't stay at Alabama. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of talk about him possibly going to Tennessee. I mean, I'm just confused about that.
Well, I
He's
can
an
stop.
Alabama fan.
I can stop you right now. He's not going to Tennessee. That ain't happening. He's going to. I think he's staying at Alabama. I think he'll change positions before he leaves Alabama. In my opinion, what do you think, Lawtide?
I don't know, man. He wants to play quarterback, and Dabo or whatever his name was, our offense coordinator last year, when he went to the Bills, he had it in his head that he could be a pocket quarterback in the NFL, so that's what he wants to be. But he won't play. Excuse me? Go ahead.
I don't think he's going to Tennessee. there are a lot of other teams that say he's going to be going there. I just need an Alabama fan to say where you think he's going to go. If he's saying Alabama, that's good. I mean, I'm just confused by that topic that's been bringing up all week. That's why I wanted to call in just to clarify that for a second.
Right. Well,
yeah.
I don't blame you. I want to know too, but only answer I can give is he doesn't win the starting job, he will redshirt. You know, you got that. You can play up to 4 games until you really got to redshirt. So, you know, he may do that.
So,
call SEC too. But who's your team? Well, you need to tell me who your team is.
My real team?
Yes.
Now your fake team. Who's your fake team? Who's your online team?
Carolina Gamecock.
You're a Gamecock fan?
That's right.
I thought you was a Georgia fan.
What about them Cock Stars? They gonna do something this year?
As far as winning the East, no, I don't think Carolina's winning the East, but I think they're going to win at least 9 games.
I'm right there with you. I think they can win 9. I think y'all gonna give Georgia a scare too. Y'all might beat them. Y'all get y'all ducks in a row.
That's a home game
Call the
advantage.
number on the
That's
screen.
one of the things I think. I mean, Georgia's a good team. I mean, so it's going to be really, really tough getting that win. But you know.
They'll be all right.
Okay. Let me ask you something. You think Alabama's going 12-0 this year and beating Auburn?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
I don't.
Because we owe Auburn. We owe them. Auburn, we owe them. They come into Bryant-Denny. You know, they got a lot of luck out there in the Hogwarts School of Magic out there on the plains. But when they come to Tuscaloosa, they get the business. So that's what it's going to be.
Well, we've got another caller at SEC too, but I hate to cut it short, but I'm roasted in this truck, and Pete Skin Pete says he's calling in. He said he wanted to give Lawtide the business. I appreciate it, buddy.
We'll see you guys, Cop.
Okay, you're on with Lawtide. Give him the business. Who do we got here?
Hey, what's up, guys? Catfish and Lawtide. It's Pigskin Pete. How you fellas doing tonight?
Good.
Doing all right, man. How you doing? You done drinking 6-pack tonight or what?
Yeah. Listen, man. I'm about to fall asleep. I'm about to fall asleep trying to get on this show, man. Catfish, are you the Howard Stern show or the damn Ryan Seacrest show? Good Lord, man. It's hard as hell to get through to you.
Yeah. I'm hoping to have all the bugs worked out by football season, so I'm glad you called in and we can chop up some sports. You know, Lawtide's feeling pretty confident, and I know you're feeling pretty confident. What you got for him?
Yeah, no, I'm just messing with you, man. I was calling your personal phone instead of the number on the screen. My bad. Lawtide. First of all, Lawtide.
Yeah, bro.
This is no secret. Is one of my favorite, not only YouTubers but people on YouTube, because he tells it like it is, and that's what I like about him. And he's an Alabama fan, and Clemson and Alabama got a lot in common. That's no secret. That's not breaking news or fake news to anybody. What I want to know from Lawtide is, so I don't know if you've seen any of my videos about this Jalen Hurts thing. I mean, I can, you know, from an outsider's perspective, I completely agree with you with what you're saying. And I basically said the same thing that you're saying, is that I was shocked to see that Jalen Hurts said that, not because he said it and not because he feels that way. And I'm not even saying that Jalen Hurts doesn't have a legitimate gripe with the coaching staff. I was shocked to see him say that, because when's the last time, if ever, anybody has seen a Nick Saban coached team have a player come out and say something like that about the coaching staff? That blew my mind. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it blew my mind too, man. It was a real shocker, and you know, I think Coach Saban handled it pretty well. You know, just tried to turn the page with it, but you know, he said that it wasn't hurting in the quarterback controversy or whatever, or competition. But I just look at it this way, man. I think Tua's in his head. I mean, that's not all I can say about it. I mean, I just think Tua's in his head. I don't think I mean, he may have had to say those things to, you know, to fire him up and let him know that he's still there, you know, when he ain't listening.
Yeah.
And that's how I took it. That's kind of how I took it. But the first time I watched it, I was like, I've never heard any kind of words like that out of his mouth ever.
Yeah, so I'm not crazy then, right?
No, you're not crazy. No, you're not crazy. You're pretty much on point. But but there's not. But understand this thing about us, and y'all are the same way. One person ain't gonna stop this train.
Yeah.
One player ain't gonna stop this train, and that's just the way it is.
No.
I mean, once you do that, you become like how Tennessee was when they had that quarterback who was throwing beer bottles at people's cars. What was his name? That boy from California State.
Yeah,
I forget his name. I forget his name, but he stayed whenever Kiffin left. Whatever his name was, I can't remember.
I said the same thing, man. I said that I'm, you put it like Tua's getting in his head. I said basically Jalen Hurts knows that he can't compete with Tua, and that Tua, whether it's the first game or second game or third game or whatever, probably the 1st game, is going to end up taking that job and never look back. And Jalen, he's lashing out.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely frustration and lashing out. And you can't tell me that he couldn't have came to Coach Saban and they couldn't have walked in his office and said everything that he said right there to the media.
Exactly.
I mean, that was just, I was like, that just blew my mind. But
the last thing we want is for him to divide the locker rooms, start having other players come out and say, I'm siding with Jalen, I'm siding with Saban, I'm siding with Tua. And
but the thing about it was, Pete, is the team, after he said those things, they had a team meeting. And they all got together, and all the leaders got together, and they said that these comments wasn't going to divide the team, and it wasn't going to have an effect on the team. So, that's just how it is.
It's not going to? It's not going to because Nick Saban's the coach. And Nick Saban ain't going to
Exactly. Exactly. Some coaches couldn't get away with that, but Nick Saban's doing it because the proof is in the pudding. And Coach Dabo, he's doing the same thing up there at Clemson. So
I got 2 more quick questions. I don't want to tie up the phone lines for Catfish here. One thing I really want to know from you, I don't know if you've seen any of my videos in the past week, this thing that Greg McElroy said, you know what I'm talking about? About the ACC and about Clemson and Florida State?
Well, yeah, he was saying something, but I didn't really get to read it.
So basically what he said was, if you want to go somewhere and play putt-putt and have music before the practices and have people telling you, have fun leading up to the game, then you go places like Clemson or Florida State. If you want to be somewhere that's all about winning and tradition and respecting, your program and all this and that, then you go to places like Texas A&M, Alabama, and Georgia. Now, I don't have a problem with him saying certain teams in the ACC against Alabama and Auburn or whoever, but for him to put Clemson in there with Texas A&M and Georgia, even I know Georgia's great right now, but listen, let's be real, Georgia fans, okay? Georgia hasn't won a title since '80. They haven't won more than one conference title in the past 10 years. Clemson is on a whole nother level than Georgia, and definitely than Texas A&M, and Florida State is on a bigger level than Texas A&M. I think Greg McElroy, I lost all respect for him when he said that. I don't know what he's getting at, what he's trying to do, but that blew my mind.
Well, he's a journalist now. He's what we call rat poison down in Alabama. So, he can pretty much get up there and say what he wants to say. All he's trying to do is get somebody to read his articles. But y'all are kind of like we were a few years ago. Y'all carrying the ACC on your back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's not too many elite teams in the ACC. I mean, Florida State might have been one, but they lost their coach. So right now, Clemson is carrying the ACC on their back because they're an elite football team. They got football players.
When has Texas A&M ever been an elite football team in my lifetime?
Well,
Never.
I don't think so, but they're saying that because Jimbo's there, and I just put that in there just to be putting it in there, just trying to get another team. But
that even proves my point more because he's comparing Florida State to Texas A&M. Meanwhile, Texas A&M's coach was the coach at Florida State when they won the national title just a few years ago. So,
right.
I'm just saying, Greg McElroy. I don't know. The reason I'm asking you is because you're a Bama fan. I don't know. I've heard from other Bama fans they don't like Greg McElroy. He tries to separate himself from Alabama. Is that true? I don't know. But
I don't think he tries. I don't think he tries to do that. But you know, he has made some of the alumni mad, and with his comments. I mean, I think him and AJ McCarron, they've kind of swapped back and forth a couple times. But you know, that's just how it is. I mean, it's easy to go to Greg because everybody thinks Alabama. You know, he knows what's going on down there in Alabama, but he really don't. I mean, he's just hearing what everybody else is hearing. I mean, I don't think anybody really knows what's really going on behind closed doors. I mean, they got this 4-part series going, Rolling with the Tide, on ESPN too, and I can't believe Nick Saban's letting people in there seeing all some of the stuff we do. But you know, it's for the recruits. I mean, it's a good thing, to get recruits. So you gotta do what you gotta do these days.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you talking to me. Hey, one last question, real quick. This is for anybody out there not named Clemson or Alabama. Lawtide, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Knowing that we're going to see you again this year in either the playoffs or the championship game?
Well, it's always going to be a good. Last year, I think we just bowled up. I think we just bowled up and overwhelmed you because everybody doubted us. But
hey,
this year, y'all gonna be hungry, man. Y'all got that big D line. Every one of them NFL prospects. We got this big old offensive line, and they're mean, and we got some backs, and we're just gonna hunker down and knock hell at each other for 4 quarters. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Make it. Everybody might be sick of seeing us, but I ain't sick of it yet, because it's been a good game. Every one of them.
Hey, that makes 2 of us, brother. All right, I'll let you go. Hey, Catfish, great show, man. Lawtide, appreciate it, man.
Thanks, yeah.
Have a good one.
No problem, man. Be good, brother.
All right, we got time for one more. You got time for one more, Lawtide?
Hell yeah. Bring them on.
Before we do, I wanted to give a shout out to the very first live stream of DeGoat Watson, and he's in the house, and let's see, somebody else is in here. Oh, Orange 1973, his first live stream. I appreciate y'all guys tuning in every Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. I'm working the bugs out of my system, but I'm going to try to have it up and running, and we're going to have some fan face-offs starting the first Friday of the season, and it's going to be great. Lawtide's been a guest on one of my fan face-offs, but this is going to be live over live stream, and it's going to be epic. So we got one more call on hold. Let's see if he's still on there. He may have hung up. Let's see. You're on with Lawtide and Catfish. What you got for us?
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing good, man. What's going on with you?
Awesome guys. Well, I appreciate the call. So my name is Shane, and I'm a pretty avid Georgia fan. So I was calling in because I really can see both Georgia and Alabama both going undefeated and meeting in the SEC championship, and really undefeated. And I really think Georgia has, of all the other SEC teams, the ability to beat them. The recruiting right now that Kirby's doing is ridiculous. We seriously have 5 backs that could start, I think, in any other school, and 2 quarterbacks. Fromm did amazing last year, and it's the team, even though they're losing a lot of leadership, dude, I mean, their team is just reloaded. And what kills me right now is that, everyone's saying that South Carolina is going to beat Georgia. It could be a good game. But Georgia is, really, if you look at how Alabama was Nick Saban first got there, rough first season, second season, came very close winning that SEC championship, didn't quite get there. This third season, I think Georgia is going to do what Alabama, because that's what Kirby's doing. I think he's just a year ahead of what Saban was. So I honestly, dude, I think Georgia's going to be the team. They're going to be the team to end the reign of Alabama.
Well, I'm gonna before Lawtide gets on there, I'm gonna tell you what I think. Georgia has been recruiting, and I believe I just read just a couple of days ago that Georgia overtook Alabama for the #1 spot in recruiting for 2019.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You know,
In the last year they had the #1 recruiting, and I did a reaction video on DeAndre Swift, and I don't get to watch much sports on TV.
yeah,
And I tell you what, that kid, he's a complete back. I saw him catching the ball 20, 30 yards down the field, and you could line him up out wide. You could put him in the slot. That I was concerned about Georgia's reloading on defense, losing Roquan Smith, but it sounds like, man, they've got.
he's a big loss. Yeah,
It sounds like they're going. They've got what it takes to be there again. And Lawtide's my buddy. I've known him for a little while, but I've got Georgia winning the SEC, and that's not any scientific data behind it. That's just a gut feeling. And that's because everybody's picking Alabama, but Georgia, Kirby Smart's got a hell of a thing going on down there in Athens. I mean, even Lawtide has to admit that. Lawtide knows all about Kirby Smart up close and personal, and the recruiting this guy's done, I don't see any end in sight. It's going to be a great battle between Alabama, Nick Saban, and Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart might be the first assistant of Saban's to beat him. What do you think, Lawtide?
I think
Well,
he
you know,
seriously will. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I mean, y'all lost 31 seniors last year. That's a lot. We lost all those seniors in 08. No, in 07 and 08. We come back with a bunch of freshmen. We won it in 09. So it can happen.
Yeah, like the third year. Right.
Yeah, it can happen, man. It can happen. But we know each other so well now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, to me, last year was like playing in a spring game, because I've seen Kirby on the other side and our offense coordinator on the other side for years going at it. And it felt like that again. But man, y'all got some good players over there. I'll give it to you. Y'all got some good players. But man, Nick Saban don't lose too many championship games. And that's what. And I think that's what the difference is if we match up. We know what to do in those championship games. We know when to take a chance and when not to take a chance. I mean, to me, Georgia, if they would have kept running Tony Michelle, they might have won a national championship.
Right. I know that's the big thing. Yeah.
And you know, and you never knew why they quit running him, because 2-7 wasn't getting it. I don't even think he got his number that night. I don't think Chubb even rushed for his number that night. So I was fine with them not giving him the ball in the fourth quarter. I was fine with that. I really was. But man, this right here, this think about this. Nick Saban signed an 8-year extension. Who knows if he's going to coach those 8 years? So I think we're going to get 5 good ones.
Right.
And it could be just like, or even better than Bo and Woody Hayes. And that's what it reminds me of. Because them two come together.
Go ahead.
Those two.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Go ahead.
My bad, bud. Well, I was just going to ask you this, because you're right. He did get that extension, and I'm not going to use the statement as a bash, but of course, I see that as trying to help with recruiting because of its, not knowing how much longer he's going to be there. So,
right.
If let's say Georgia does beat him in the SEC championship, somehow let's say they don't make it let's say they even make it to the playoffs, but they don't win a national title. Do you think he might coach 1 more or 2 more years? Do you think that has a huge effect on him?
I don't think it has a huge effect. I think he still loves doing what he does. I mean, and as long as he feels like he can get out there and do it, he's going to do it. Because I know he likes cashing them checks. I mean,
right.
I mean, he likes cashing them checks and driving them pontoon boats. Pulling them 5-stars around on that lake. So
make sure they have gas.
Exactly. So I think just set up, because these battles are going to be so classic, man. We're going to be sitting back and watching these old games 20 years from now, like, man, we lived it, And that's how I look at it as a fan. And it's just, y'all getting to see it. Y'all winning 2 games before y'all got him. So I mean, y'all just got the process. Y'all just got the process with it now.
Right, and don't get me wrong. I'll be the last Georgia fan to tell you that I love Mark Richt. I met him maybe 3 times. The guy is the most genuine person in the world I've met, at least as a coach. But I remember in the very first game that Georgia played against North Carolina, seeing Kirby Smart's energy when they when they actually scored the first touchdown. I was like, that's what Georgia's missing. That fire, that intensity, and that's finally paying off. And the reason I actually think they'll actually do better this year is because Kirby Smart coached up Rick's players, which they were good. Don't get me wrong, but he's bringing in more substantial talent now, and he's going to turn them into what he needs to make a championship team. That's why I don't. I brought up the whole South Carolina, which the whole media is picking. I don't want to say a whole, but a whole bunch of media is picking South Carolina to upset Georgia. And it could be a close game, but the talent is way different. And I think they're going to be, honestly,
I'm going to remind you of something there. I'm going to remind you of something. We had one of the best teams in 2010, and we went down there to South Carolina. Stephen Garcia. That was fair, but they didn't have the talent we had. They didn't have the talent we had. They shouldn't have been on the field with us. We went down there and laid an egg. They played that Sandstorm song all day long.
Okay, you're going to love that. And then the chicken call, too.
Let me ask you a question, Shane, while I got you on the line.
Go for it, buddy.
Some of the things, I watched a few highlights last year of some of the Georgia games, and it seemed to me like they weren't utilizing Fromm. I think Fromm they need to not talk about Fields. I think Fields will come in some packages.
Right,
Fromm is the quarterback. I think they weren't utilizing him. I don't know if it was the play calling, but they didn't even know about. It acted like they never even saw a pass across the middle. I mean, y'all underutilized your tight ends, in my opinion, from what little bit I saw. Do you see that changing this year over last year?
I do, especially because of the way Fromm came in, because he came out of nowhere because I'm like, okay, Ethan's hurt, all right, it's my time, and then he gets to go to Notre Dame the next game and go into a very, well, I say hostile, even though apparently Georgia had a lot of people there, but they had to ease him in. That's a lot to take on as a freshman quarterback that's not yet to play it down in college. So at the same time, when you have Sony Michel and Nick Chubb, probably the most crazy, awesome duo of running backs to ever come through the SEC together, why not keep it rock and rolling with them? Then add in DeAndre, add in Swift. So I think as time came on, they gave him. He started doing better, making better decisions, and made him be able to pass more and more. Let's look at the Mississippi State game. He actually did pretty sweet on that. But I think, and I'll give you actually heads up here, I think he learned a lot from the Tennessee game, because he actually didn't play well that game. He played actually pretty poorly. And I think that was a good wake-up call of like, hey, I've got to be better. And then, you saw his game evolve going forward. So now I think that they have a better offensive line. And, of course, they don't have they're introducing more running backs. They're going to pass more. And I think he's really going to utilize the tight ends much more now. And I don't know if y'all saw this, but Demetrius Robertson is now eligible for the season. So he's got a talent, that can just spread the field to utilize. So the wide receiver group just got a lot better. I think you're going to see him air it out a lot more.
About the kid from Cal transfer.
Yeah, the transfer. Yeah. So that just hit today, which actually took me by surprise because I wasn't sure if that was going to happen. And but either way, I think you're going to see Isaac Nada, Warner, I forgot his first name, the tight ends really come into play, a lot of play action coming in. I mean, because I'd say the truth, I think what really, I mentioned the Mississippi State game earlier, but that the whole flea flicker, which didn't work past this, but when he hit, I think it was Godwin for the touchdown, I was like, this dude's going to be special. This dude's got it. So I think he'll be, I think Fields will be worked in during the season because he came there to play. But I think Fromm is the starter going forward. But about to take a baby to bed. But before I go any further, I just wanted to say I actually do think Tennessee's going to have a better season than a lot of people think. And you can quote me on this. I believe they're actually going to beat Florida because the home they're playing at home is, I think, going to give them the edge. So if any kind of nod to the Tennessee crew, I think Tennessee actually can beat Florida this year.
Well, I've been getting a lot of grief. I've been my gig, and I don't know how long you've been watching me, but I always ended the show. We're going 15-0. I promise you that, because Uncle Lou used to brag us Tennessee fans about saying 15-0. So that was just a stick. But I really think, well, our ceiling is 7-5. An outside chance. I'm talking about the stars have to line up to go 8-4. But we're going to a damn bowl game. I promise you, we're going to a bowl game. and that's what I'm saying. And Georgia and Alabama, they're like, we're going to the SEC championship game, but we're going to a damn bowl game, by God.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Gotta start somewhere.
We gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, you're right, man.
Well, I appreciate.
The last thing I'll say,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say thank you. My bad, not to cut you off. I was gonna say thank you for the call or allowing me to call in.
Yeah.
And Lawtide, it was a pleasure speaking with you, man. And y'all have a good rest of the night, though.
Yeah, man. Good talking to you too, man. Get y'all this season. Hope to see y'all in Atlanta. Atlanta, baby.
There you go. All right, bye, guys.
All right, see you. Thanks for calling. Well, Lawtide, you must think it's pretty much a lot that dang Tennessee's not going to be there. Is that what you're saying?
Y'all got a tough schedule, buddy.
No, I really do think that a lot of people don't realize this. We lost our best receiver the first game of the season, Jawan Jennings. He's no joke. We got Marquez Callaway, we got Ty Chandler, we've got Todd Kelly Jr., who is out most of the season on defense, coming back, and Nigel Warrior. He's going to be a stud. I'm telling you, Lawtide, you need to listen to me. I don't know if you've got a couple $100 laying around, but you need to go with the over on that 5.5 that Vegas has on our total wins on over and under. Take the over, and you'll put some money in the bank.
I did see Catfish that they put old Combo. They moved him to linebacker. Outside linebacker. You all gonna get anything out of him this year?
Oh yeah, he's 240. I think that he underachieved on the line. I just don't think he's big enough. But that 3-4 defense, I think that's going to be the perfect place for him. And I think Pruitt can coach him up.
He better hope so, or he'll be a big walking billboard on the bench.
Oh, whatever. But I tell you what, we are going to a bowl game, Lawtide. You can take that to the bank. And Kongbo, hey, just his name ought to be worth 2 or 3 sacks. Just that, isn't that not the best name for a football player, Kongbo?
Does he have? I don't even think he has 2 or 3 tackles in his whole career.
Yeah, you're right about that. Big disappointment. Uncle Lou told me on that video I made, he's fixed to be good every year. Well, this year he's really going to be good. I'm telling you, Pruitt's a linebacker whisperer.
Well, y'all's combo is like our Ben Davis. We're just looking for him to get out there and show out.
Well, if we don't get another call here in a few minutes, I'm going to wrap it up. Anybody want to call in and give Lawtide the business? The number's on the screen, 855-489-7623. Call in. And I really have appreciated you coming on. I'm glad that this new call-in studio is working. It costs a little bit of money, but hey, it makes the show look good, and we can have a couple people talking to each other. And doesn't look like nobody's calling in, so I'm gonna wrap this up by announcing a winner. The comment of the week goes to the Vol General. You send me your name and address to volunteerroadshow@gmail.com, and I'll get that. Obviously, it better be a Tennessee Tiki Totem. Hey, Lawtide, tell them about these Tiki Totems. You won 2 last year. Tell them about, I know they're Alabama and that elephant's ugly as hell, but tell them about this Tiki Totem. They're great, aren't they?
Yeah, they're awesome. Don't be talking about my Tiki Totems. One's name is Big and the other name is Al, and they're top notch, man. They're top notch.
Well, I'm glad you deserved winning them in them fan face-offs, and your team won the last one there for winning the championship, and it's been great. It's been fun.
Yeah, I know. I want to say a prayer for Couch Coach, man. I miss him. Tell me he needs to get back on here.
He's going to be on one of my live shows coming up here in the next week or two, or we might do a video.
Why is everybody running away because of Uncle Lou? You know, I know he's just a big old softy. I don't need to be getting all tore up about Uncle Lou.
Yeah.
He ain't nothing. He just likes to talk. That's all he's about. He likes to talk.
Well, appreciate it, Lawtide. Everybody check me out on Facebook and Twitter, all that stuff down in the description. And if you haven't bought your tickets to support Fishing for Soldiers, to go fishing with me and a Tennessee football player that played in the Super Bowl. I'm not telling you who it is right yet. We're going September 21st. Friday before the Florida game, and we're going to have a great time catching some monster catfish with our new sponsor, Tennessee River Monsters, and Captain Scott Manning. And this has been great and fun, and adios everybody. Thanks for watching.